Okay. Ooh, rocking.
Pretty solid chair. I'm feeling good about it.
I don't think it's going to collapse.
I'm not going to owe them a chair after this interview.
I'm not even going to have that edited out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you keep it in, just tell them I'm Whitey Morgan. I think I can fool the lady into thinking I'm Whitey.
I'm here today with Whitey Morgan or Justin Wells, whoever you want to.
We just played the Ryman last night. It was it was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Yeah, I hear it was really fabulous.
Yeah, I can't tell you the set list, but it was really good.
Really great. I was at a show last night with Justin Wells.
Yeah, me too. I was.
Were you there at the show with yourself?
I was. We did the thing in Sturgeon for little Watt Halliburton. I got to meet him.
What a great night. I got to meet him for the first time.
Yeah.
I feel like I know him.
Yeah.
But I got to meet him.
It was awesome. He hung in there through like 78 hours of music.
That was maybe one of the longest days. But a great day, no complaints. Acoustic Woodstock. It was totally acoustic Woodstock. And then at the end, some guys jumped on stage and played drums, which I was like, wow, that's a crescendo to a day.
I wanted to get in on that, but I feel like I was being blocked from doing it. I think that they somehow sensed that I'm not a drummer.
They didn't want your drumming prowess up there with them.
Yeah, and I was ready.
You were?
Yeah.
Man, I wish somebody would have told me. We could have put you on stage. Next time, we rush the stage, you drum, I sing, and we mess up.
There will be drums.
Can I sing? Can I do some backup vocals?
Yeah,
oh, yeah. I mean,
I'll be drumming. I'm not the lead.
I can't hear you in the monitor, Cheryl. The Duchess and the Wills.
That's right.
Wills, Duchess. We can work it out somehow. Well, anyway, I'm Cheryl Swift, the Duchess of Rock and Roll. We're here tonight in the most lovely setting I've maybe ever been in for a concert.
Kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
If I could turn this around, which I might at the end of the interview,
you should.
We are looking at a lake, a pirate ship, an outdoor venue.
There's a bed over there?
And there is a bed on the porch. But Justin and I talked, and we thought maybe his wife and my husband would not appreciate bedtime
I don't
interviews.
know, man. It could be kind of rad. Some sort of like country John Lennon, Yoko
Ono.
Thing.
We could be like legendary.
Protest? Let's protest this heat.
We're going to protest heat and humidity.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, it has been a hot one in Missouri the last few days.
It's ridiculous.
I know that there was a lot of...
I got to tour Canada.
There's a lot. I'm always like, can we go on vacation to Alaska?
Yeah.
Because I'm always hot.
My best bud lives up in Anchorage, and like it's probably snowing right now. I don't know.
Snow would be...
I don't know what he's doing. It's probably dark. I don't know.
It's about 98 here in St. Louis today with about 78, 80% humidity.
Yeah.
So, Justin Wells, if you don't know him, you should, is an incredible singer-songwriter out of Kentucky.
Yeah, that's how we say it too, Kentucky. Like we spit it out that.
Like there's got to be a little...
From Lexington, Kentucky is where I'm from.
Yes.
And we say it just like it's spelled.
Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
So Justin and I met. This is funny. We actually met after another show and hung out. But
we went to the blues show. Man, those guys were awesome. Remember they like 8-piece?
We went
over to BB King's, right?
We went to BB King's because some of Jamie's band came and met us, and you were there.
The band was like tight as hell.
Tony.
Hell?
Yeah, you can say hell. This is my private collection. Tony, Jamie's drummer, played.
Yeah.
And you were there.
Yeah.
And Tony's no longer playing with Jamie, but he was at the time.
Sorry, Tony, or
Sorry,
Jamie,
Tony,
depending on how you view it.
I'm not sure which side of the coin that falls on.
I'll be honest, I don't care.
But we hung out, and then finally, after knowing you for a while, I got to see you play live last night, and I loved the acoustic show. I really like your lyrics.
Thank you.
I think you're an amazing wordsmith.
Thank you.
One of my favorite lines that you've written is, "If 12 got invited, then I'm 13." Some version of that. I know I didn't nail that just then.
No, you got the gist.
I have always said
you probably said it better than I sang it sometimes.
I always felt like I've been the top of the B list. Right at B+.
Solid.
I'm a solid B+.
Solid second page of the IMDb page.
Yes, like you got to flip the page.
Yeah, like if you really care about the cast of the show, then you'll find it.
Then you'll click.
Yeah,
it's like
I got that one scene where like I start to say something and then they cut to the other.
And they cut to the commercial for the ice cream truck or something. Like I always.
Did you know that was Justin? That he was zombie number 210.
If you watch really close and slow it down to 3,
the big one.
You'll go ding 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 ding.
The one that's eating the other ones.
He's the zombie. Oh my god, this is going to be the funniest interview ever.
We're out there.
What'd you talk about? Zombies and ice cream. What did you talk about?
Zombies, ice cream, pirate ship, bed on the porch.
There's a bed on the porch. There's a pirate ship. They're the cutest kids you've ever seen walking around this ranch.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of Missouri, in Dittmer, Missouri. Our friends Dustin and Jessica are hosting this singer-songwriter series here.
Yeah, and this is, I don't know how many they've done. It seems like they've done a lot of it.
They have. This is, I believe, 4 or 5 here at this venue. And like Jessica and Justin, who happen to be Dustin. I said Justin. I'm talking to Justin. Dustin Clark is the one hosting.
I'm literally taking over other artists' names.
He's now morphing into other people. So we've been friends for a couple years now, and I love that they support live music.
Yeah, and totally, I mean, this hospitality is ridiculous.
Right, like where else? The lady's like, you can use my porch. You can.
Yeah, here's the shower.
He took a shower in the outside. He goes, I'm sorry, I'm late for the interview, but I took a shower. I'm like, it's all good with me. I'm all about cleanliness, man.
Well, I thought it was an audio interview.
When he found out, we met earlier today to talk about it. He's like, oh, I'll meet you a little bit. I'm going to go get cleaned up.
Yeah, I had to put on my nudie suit.
Is that a swan? As a swan now?
Those are 2 swans. Hey, I'm just taking it all in.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see what's happening, but those look like swans to me.
It's pretty surreal. I'll be honest with you. I just played a place in Minnesota. Like, this is maybe the most beautiful place I've ever played outside of Kentucky, maybe. But I did just play this place in Minnesota that was really as stunning. Really? It wasn't as sprawling as this,
right?
But it's on like the historic registry, and like I showed up. I met these people at a festival. They hired me, and same kind of gist. Like everything was really, really cool. There were a lot of people there, and I think this is going to work out for me. Like I might not play the big shows, but I sure do play some beautiful farms.
One of the things that you and I talked about, and one of the things that I appreciate about you as an artist, and you can speak to this, is you have a humble nature. You are...
Maybe.
Well, you come across to me that way, by George.
Catch me at the end of the night at the bar.
Well, there's the beginning of the night, dude, and there's the end of the night, dude.
Well, the truth is, I've not been doing it as long as some people, but I'm working on my 6th record right now, and I've been touring for over a decade. And when you have kind of hills and valleys, you can either keep being kind of that young punk asshole that we all kind of start as, or not all of us, but probably most of us because we're insecure. Or you can hopefully learn that, it's somewhat of a team game. I don't know if it's a team game. I actually don't agree with that, but I do think that, that whole, perception, especially in this country realm of, I've got to be this tough badass. I don't respond to that. I don't really,
Right.
My parents hugged me and stuff, so, you
don't have that. You don't have to be the
we were poor, but
crazy dude. You don't have to be.
I can't afford a Harley, man, and I don't.
I can't.
We didn't farm,
Yes.
My dad busted his ass, and we grew up in a trailer on a dead end road in Louisiana, and that's true. But I don't know. I can't. I can't. I'm not really. We don't come from miners. You know what I mean? I'm not going to front that. That would be disrespectful to those people. But also, I'm proud of my shit. What I mean? I'm proud of my parents. I'm proud of my grandparents. I'm proud of what we come from. And
I come from a steel town. My daddy was the lead mechanic for a major car hauler, and so I believe in the Teamsters and the things.
That's right.
I believe in the things. Were you really?
For UPS, yeah,
that's
for a
awesome.
time. And that's funny. I'm listening to this Mafia podcast right now, and we're right on the Jimmy Hoffa shit, and it's I love it, dude.
But I feel very. I feel proud of what my dad gave me because he worked 6 and 7 days a week, but because of that, I got the life and the upbringing and the foundation and helped paid for my schooling. And
that's right.
I was the first one to go to college. Because of what my daddy sacrificed both for our country in Vietnam and as a laborer in our country, I now have the solid foundation for my life.
And we hope the same for our kids,
Exactly.
But the biggest thing for me is we don't have to have these constructed backgrounds for country music. I think one of the best country music albums of the last decade is Daniel Romano, and he's from Toronto. And he's not even making country music anymore. It's almost like he's I can hit this full court 3-pointer, and I'm not going to play basketball anymore. It's I'm serious, so I don't know.
I think sometimes
you spend too much time on your bio.
Right, genreification. It's show me what you got on stage.
We should write songs. The bio will figure itself out. Let's write songs.
Right. You let people write about you.
Yeah.
Let your music.
You write me a bio.
I would.
Need a bio.
I've done that before.
Okay.
I've done that for a couple of people.
I think mine's bad.
Is it bad?
I don't know.
Well, your Wikipedia was interesting in the last, a little bit.
Yeah.
That's changed.
Don't give them any ideas.
I ain't saying nothing. That's in the vault.
Yeah.
Okay.
Edit that out.
Sometimes, you got to, make sure your bio's up to date. And
I know who my enemies are.
Yes.
I know where they live.
You're like, I got addresses and stuff.
I do.
So your new album, it was in 2016.
Yeah, my newest, yes.
Yeah, newest, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Almost exactly 2 years ago, that's right.
It's a stunning album.
Thank you.
I can't wait for new music. Can we look forward to that?
Yeah, and it won't be as depressing as the last one. That last one was when I was depressed. So
I love that.
People that ask what the new one will sound like, it'll sound like I'm not depressed.
Up. Oh, like a step. I'm going to just give you a little more joy.
Well, my band Fifth on the Floor broke up, and I kind of just started writing it. It was this total economic collapse kind of for me, and we just had my twin girls, and I didn't know, I talked to my wife, and I was like, is this where I go to the factory? This is where I go earn, right? Like, we got to take care of the kids. And she's like, if you do that, you're just teaching the girls how to quit. And I'm like, okay, well, now I'm committed to this no matter what. You've definitely made this easier and harder on me. So that was kind of my therapy, was if you just seriously print those lyrics out, it's a love letter to my band. It's I don't know what I'm doing. It's a love letter to my parents, to my parents, my
song.
wife, my kids. Yeah, it makes me almost. That was supposed to be for us. Right. It's for everybody, but that was me telling all my homies on the road that
that's a in the van.
Yeah.
That's an in the van song.
It's like, hey, dude, we're going to play for less people than are actually in the van right now, but let's just go kick its ass. And
I think that day, for me, I hope I don't cry.
Don't cry.
Well,
I won't if you don't.
I'm one of those people that once I feel it, I can't hold it in.
I'm the same way.
The day I decided to write the blog, I was in New York City. I had a friend drop dead tragically, and I was going to be on Good Morning America the next morning with Zach Brown. So it was this juxtaposition of crazy feelings.
Sure. And you don't have time to really process it.
And I couldn't process it. And then
that's every day in a touring musician.
Exactly. But after the show, I got in the cab and fell apart.
Yeah.
Because I had to hold myself together. I was going to be on national television. Yeah. I was in the audience. I wasn't there. I got picked.
You weren't replacing Zach Brown.
No, because apparently they don't want me to sing.
Did you ask?
No, because I don't. I think Zach has heard me sing a couple times from the front row and doesn't want me anywhere near the band.
So here's me. I'm replacing Zach Brown in the Zach Brown band.
Not that cool. But I fell apart, and I was walking around, and I was like, the only way this is ever going to happen for me is to just give it up today. And I sat in Central Park and prayed and walked around. I think I drank more coffee in one day than I have in years.
That wouldn't help anything.
But I had to just process, and I went home and I sat down with my friend's widow, and I dedicated the blog to him.
There you go.
And there's a day when you draw the line in the sand, when you realize I have to do this because I want my kid. Or in my case,
when somebody does it for you, that being my wife, or
But you had to choose in that moment too.
I'd already made that choice.
And you chose
long before her and before the kids and everything. But there is a different situation, when you become a parent. That it's kind of like, okay, I'm down to eat crackers all the time, but I don't want that for my kids because like we were just talking about, our parents made our lives better. So it's incumbent upon us. Like, we don't have an excuse.
Exactly.
I don't have an excuse to be a bad dad. I have to be a good dad.
Right, I have to be a good mom. God gave me one kid.
Yeah.
She's the only kid I got.
Yeah.
And she's, for me, she's my gift from God.
Sure.
And so I do this to show her. I mean, I love touring musicians. I want to support, touring musicians. I want to promote people. But I do this to show her you can be who you want to be.
Yeah. You don't have to go do the job you don't want to do.
I mean, you can put me in a cube. Cheryl doesn't do good in a cube. I am not a cubicle gal.
Yeah, and some people are too, man. That's the thing too. I don't want anything I'm saying to come off as disparaging against
it's the path we chose.
Yeah. Those people have 401ks. That's their real work.
Right. See, I don't have that.
They can retire.
I don't have that. So let's talk about. I know you're married. You have twins.
Twin girls. Yeah, identical twin girls.
I'm assuming that both.
You're right.
Oh my God, I love it. I want to meet your wife someday because I just got to meet this gal.
She's a badass.
She's got to be a badass. Is the hardest part leaving and the best part coming home of all of it?
Yes and no. I mean, yes. those are obviously the most important things in my life is my family, but my love for the road is not a distant second. You know, it's a closer second, and so that's, man, you know, kind of going back to Dawn in the Distance. The record really starts a little bleak and ends with family. It ends with like, well, this is the reason. No matter what I'm doing, if I'm going home, you know, after a while I'll miss this, and if I go out on this, I instantly miss them. You know, so it's kind of this. You know, in that way, I know we're kind of like beating this theme to death, but like the people that do get to go home every night from their jobs, I mean, yeah, like this looks fun, but you ain't spent much time in a day's in, have you?
Right,
you might not think
or
so.
Eating ramen or cup of noodles or a quick trip, or less than a quick trip, like
whatever that is on the roller at the
what's
pilot.
that place called? They've
Quick
got
trip,
potato
eating?
logs. It's called Huck's. There used to be a place called Huck's, and they had these potato logs.
Yeah.
Like, that's road dog food.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, you haven't spent a lot of time in a bad hotel where you have to wear your socks in the shower and stuff. Until you've been on the road.
I've definitely pushed chairs up under the
to make sure
door
no one
handle.
came in.
Stayed in some odd places in the Midwest, or really the Southwest.
Yeah, it can get a little sketchy.
Yeah,
but
it's just like there's a sense of meth here.
Yeah, I feel like I
love you, Southwest.
You didn't mean anything. First of all, I checked into a hotel a couple years ago for a festival. You know, we waited too long, and the gal, my friend, looked at me. She goes, "There is meth within 10 feet of every direction of us. We slept in our clothes. We slept in our clothes."
Like, going off.
I was like, "We can't leave anything in the car." I took even the cords for our phones out of the car.
Yeah, no, you leave the car at the Kroger and get a
Uber. Take an Uber to the sketchy hotel.
Oh man, yeah.
Road life. So, you said your wife is a badass. I just know that. I just know. You know, I travel around. I'm very, very lucky to have a life where I can go to shows, interview people, and travel. And people say, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, "Well, it's my self-expression." Like, I have a great husband and a great kid, and they're both very. Well,
my marriage would fall apart if I was home all the time. I think she'd leave me in months.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder sometimes.
She's always like really happy for me to come home, and then like when it's time for me to go, she's like real
love
happy
you,
that I'm
bye.
doing it. Yeah.
She's like, "I'll see you up the road, boo."
Good, now the house can smell well.
Oh my God, I'm laughing. I'm sorry. So there's new music coming, but we don't know when.
Next year.
Next year. You heard it here. Next year.
Yeah, you've got a 1 in 365 chance of nailing it.
And so I was reading about you're working with this great producer,
Dwayne Lundy. Yeah, Dwayne mixed the last Fifth on the Floor release, which is a 4-song EP, and then Dwayne produced Dawn in the Distance.
Oh, nice.
And Dwayne's right there in Lexington, which is cool. I can be, kind of close to home, but
right.
Also, Dwayne's just a producer that makes choices, and it's a collaboration. It's not, I'm going to hit this red button, and then when you mess up, we'll do it again. It's like, we're kind of like crafting together. Yeah, right. It feels like a team. It feels like a collaboration. And he does not come from the country world at all. I mean, I don't necessarily feel like I do either. Him even less so.
Okay. Because hasn't he worked with some pretty major people?
He has, yeah. He just got a Ringo Starr credit last year, and he worked with Sturgill back in the day. So he has spent a little bit of time more in like the Americana realm.
Okay.
But that's cool too. When I made Dawn in the Distance, I felt like these songs by nature were kind of sad. Country songs are in that vein. A lot of them. Well, I don't know. That's not true. Maybe a couple of them, but it was a choice to not have a country band. We've got my friend Tom Nato playing pedal steel on it. Tom is not a country player.
Oh.
And because of that, those guys are such pros, forcing them to work within the framework of, I hate to say country because I don't think that's the right word, but definitely rural. I thought we'd come up with something very interesting.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
I'm talking about the last record.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The next record is far more electric and loud.
Ooh, that's even more exciting.
Yeah.
Because now I've seen you acoustic, which you were like, gosh, I wish the whole band would have been here, but I was excited.
I like the acoustic stuff when it's like last night where everybody's listening and being cool, and like tonight or whatever, but
yeah, it ain't always that way.
I like telling stories, but I don't like playing like bars, period. Certainly not acoustic. And it's just, it's simply a matter of budget at this point, or it would always be a band because I'm a band guy.
Right.
I'm not into that singer-songwriter thing. That's not what I do. And I would rather just do the talking here, not ramble on stage. And especially if I feel like I have to win over some crowd of freaking bridesmaids, I start talking.
Yeah.
I like how your eyes just went dead because you know.
I just can't even. I know exactly what you just meant and what you said without saying it. What was one of these?
Yeah, it's just like, it's always the basic table. It's like, there's the basic girls.
Yeah, I'm like, can you go
Or
home?
guys,
could you go home and go outside and drink that drink, please?
Yeah, can you go to Applebee's, please?
One of my dreams is to own a listening venue where, like the one we're at, and have a laser. And if I tag you, you gotta go. And I'm gonna have a big behemoth of a man standing there. And if he taps you out,
a laser,
you go.
A crossbow, yeah, whatever.
I mean, one or the other. Do you know how many times have been ruined
by crossbows?
People? Well, crossbows will ruin a day if you hit the wrong target.
This is the best interview.
But people, I flew to Minneapolis a couple years ago to see Sturgill, Merle, and oh my gosh, Chris Christopherson.
Oh wow!
It would be the last time I would see Merle Haggard alive. And the guys behind me were obviously new fans of Sturgill, and Sturgill played, and they promptly started talking. And for the first time in my adult life, besides someone coming at my kid, I turned around and said, "Listen to me. I flew here on a jet airplane to see Merle Haggard and Chris Christopherson, and you are going to stop talking. Because if it weren't for him, there'd be no Sturgills, there'd be nobody." He wrote Sunday Morning Coming Down, and he goes, "Are you asking me respectfully to shut the fuck up?" I said, "Respectfully, I am." And he goes, "Yes, ma'am." Only time anybody has ever stopped when I ask them.
I feel like we're redefining respectfully now.
Well, I had to get the point across.
Should have just used the crossbow, man.
I should have put the crossbow in my bag, man. The state fair really looks.
We're really going to change the face of rural, southern, whatever.
Tags, crossbows. It's going to be like
fiddle.
What do you call that when you go with the paint gun?
Melodica music.
Crossbow country.
Crossbow country. Oh my God, this is great. All right, folks.
Anyway,
we're scrapping my next record. I've got a new idea that I have to explore now.
Anyway, I
wouldn't edit any of this.
I am so not editing
I would keep
it.
all this.
I'm like, just keep Bob. Don't even edit anything. So, we talked about your friends with Shooter. Been working with Shooter some.
I would likely not be here today if it weren't for Shooter. Honestly,
we're talking about Shooter Jennings. If those of you who may not know,
who just put out a new record that I think hit like number 2 or number 4 in the country.
He is getting a lot of attention.
It's like a third life for Shooter, man. He's
it.
mercurial, but he kind of found us, man, and I've heard. I feel like he's even told me a couple different stories, but he found my band, and around the same time he started working with the guy that made our videos, a guy named Blake Judd, and they're in Lexington. He's done a lot of videos for a lot of cool people, and he to this day works with Shooter. Did Shooter's short film and all that stuff. And so I was in one of those videos down in Nashville. We started talking, we had drinks, and then a while later, kind of similar situation. And we were, at the time, we were kind of demoing and thinking about we were going to make the next record. This is the first time that I've ever made a record in the same place that I did the previous one.
Oh, okay.
I've been in like 5 studios, and just kind of, with some drinks in me, I asked Shooter, I was like, man, we don't really know what we're doing, what we're going to do with this next record. Would you be down to produce? Like, would you be into that? And I could be wrong, but I think at that point he'd never produced a record that wasn't his own. He'd kind of produced with Dave Cobb a lot of his stuff. I could be totally wrong on that, but I know it's one of the first. And so we locked down a week in Louisville and flew him in and really had a great time and drank too many beers, but that record had success, and that kind of raised up our profile quite a bit. And it wasn't just that, man. Like, those things can come and go, but Shooter maintained, and he was active in maintaining, and still is, like a friendship, and like talking about personal stuff and offering advice and bouncing songs off me and vice versa. And
those are great relationships when they're formed. In this world, because it's rare that you have people that you can trust on that level.
Especially when it's like, I was down with Shooter's music, so that can make things weird, and we didn't let it get anyway. Like, he announced the births of my baby girls on his satellite radio show. And somewhere he had looked up, like, their birth weights and announced that. Like, he didn't have to do that. He didn't ask me. That was a surprise.
Aww.
And it's like, I don't know, man. So, you know, I'm a fan of that dude. I'm a fan of his music. I think he's got a pretty brilliant mind and is not satisfied to kind of stay with any one thing.
Right.
You know?
I met Jessie last year.
Yeah.
His mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I started crying because, you know, she's Jessie Cole.
Because that's what you do. It's either crying or crossbows. That's the name of it.
Crying or crossbows. That could be mine. It could be a title for something.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't crossbow Jessie.
The woman is a delight.
She is. She's
so
talented. She's so sweet. She's so beautiful.
I got invited to this thing at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and she started singing the famous song, which I always mess it up. My name's not. My name is.
Mm-hmm.
I always mess up the two girls' names.
Yeah.
And I started just crying, and then when I walked out, I was just so honored to meet her. And I tweeted, shoot her, and I was like, I met your mama. And he's like, oh my gosh, like he like tweeted me, and I was like, it was just kind of trying to be
on Twitter.
I was trying to be cute.
Yeah.
And then he's really good friends with my friend Andrew Pope.
Oh, cool.
So like shooters come up a lot in conversations and in interviews. So shooter, hopefully someday I'll get to interview you. That would be the honor of a lifetime.
I bet you could do that. He might blow your mind though.
Yes. He's so smart and so interesting.
He's into some cool shit.
Yeah. I just think I think he's intriguing.
Yep.
And he comes from a royal family, but I also like to look at him as his own entity too.
Just that.
You know, that's the thing. Like, I interviewed Melanie Cannon recently, and I didn't really necessarily want to just make it about Buddy, because Melanie is her own entity.
Sure.
I don't feel it's
got to be
fair.
tricky, and think in some ways it makes your career easier if you're willing to walk a path. But if you don't want to walk that path, it makes your career probably harder.
Right, and Melanie was cool to talk about her daddy.
Yeah.
I mean, her daddy's one of the most famous singer-songwriters in the world. But I also want it to be about the person, not necessarily their spouse or their business partner or their dad or their mom. You know, it's like Shooter is Shooter, although he comes from country music royalty. So I think that I like for people, when I interview them or meet them, I want to form my own opinion. I want to know who they are as a person, not the gossip or, you know, social media can be both a blessing and a curse.
Mostly curse.
Mostly curse. Mostly needing of the crossbow. Maybe some of them more need the cross at this point, but anyway, something like that. Yeah. And so I just, you know, I'm intrigued by people who both come from royalty and are their own person.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, it's just intriguing to me. I didn't mean to go off the rails on that, but
that was a good thing to go off the rails on.
Yeah, Shooter's worth it.
Sure.
I mean, he's a cool cat.
Yeah.
You know, so let's tell people about where they can find you and your music on the internet.
You can find me in Ditmer, Missouri right now.
This won't air for a while.
Swans.
So if you come here.
So depending on when this airs, I may be in Kansas or Iowa. No. You can find me at justinwellsmusic.com, and I am on all of the social media. And I think that my music is anywhere you can find it. I do have a new single that came out from the 10 and 20 group in Lexington. It's a compilation. This is the second volume of which they do 10 songs, 10 artists, 20 days. You know, each artist gets 2 days tracking and mixing. We recorded this a good while ago, but that just released here a couple of weeks ago, so check that out on Spotify, etc., etc. And some other new music that's not my new record coming out within about a month.
Okay.
Just another little thing to hopefully tide you all over, because I'm taking a little bit of time between albums.
Right on.
Yeah, and then I'm always the big guy in the crowd, and if I'm standing in front of you, I really like the music, so could you just find another place to stand? Please.
Doesn't mean it. He's not trying to block you.
I'm not trying to block you, but I don't want to sit.
Well, and actually we're sitting ironically on the porch here in Ditmer, Missouri. Well, I just want to thank you, because it's been a pleasure. Like, I've gotten to see you all weekend, because last night we were at the benefit. Today we got to meet and talk for a little bit, and then meet.
I'm just going to take you home to Lexington.
I would love it. I want to meet.
Out at the house.
I want to meet your wife, because she sounds like the coolest chick ever.
Play with
the girls,
Justice League superheroes that the girls are into, and maybe some Super Nintendo. And
I could do that stuff.
Well, Friday we're in Jackson, Kentucky, so you're going to need to go to that. And I mean,
go check my schedule.
Yeah.
So check him out at justinwellsmusic.com.
Yeah.
I'm Cheryl Swift, Duchess of Rock and Roll. I'm here tonight in beautiful Dittmer, Missouri at the Wicked Pony
God, I was so
Ranch.
hoping I said that right. I'm glad I did.
We're here with Dustin Clark and Jessica Clark, who put on music and who support live and local music, and we love people who do that. So go out and support live and local music. Cheryl Swift, Justin Wells, and we wish you all peace, love, and rock and roll.
Be kind to each other on social media.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, Cheryl. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Thank you.